And then let's talk about how Ryan Reynolds, let's start off with that story, how Ryan Reynolds just forgot to talk about his wife. Just kind of skirt, forgets to talk about Blake when he is, talking about over on the stand, I call it the stand because I feel like they're on trial already. Blake Lively, we've talked about her now for months, 5 months almost, right? We've just found out. We're still trying to do the math. Since December 20th, and now it's April 23rd. Is that 4 or 5 months? Someone do the math. Okay, let's do it together. January, February, March. Okay, we're 4 months. We're coming into our 5th month now. 5 months and going into 5 months, and we have not yet seen anything good come out of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Literally nothing. Only bad news bears. It keeps coming out. But just last week, exactly a week ago, Blake Lively gets that honor, right, to be on the Times 100 list. Everyone's like, how much did they pay to get this honor? But then randomly, Time magazine puts on this event, and guess who's over there doing the conversation about it? Guess who's over there doing it? Ryan Reynolds, not Blake. Why is Time magazine doing some sort of a panel, a summit, as they say, and Blake is not even the one speaking? Why? Ryan Reynolds wasn't honored in this year's Time 100. Why wasn't Blake there? Why is Ryan there? Again, this all seems like these little strange tactics to get Blake off of our brain and keep Ryan front and center. It's all weird. But here's the strange thing. Ryan Reynolds fails to mention Blake Lively at the Time Summit as he swerves questions about negative headlines. Before we get into that, though, why don't we show you one way where he does talk? I have a clip of it here. Let's watch lovely Ryan Reynolds, who actually drives me crazy. I mean, it's actually impossible for me to watch Ryan. Look at his face. I'm sorry. Even just the freeze frame of his face drives me nuts, right? But let's watch this really fast. Let's watch Ryan Reynolds just jabber on about Deadpool, because that's what we really care about right now in these tough days. And then why don't you can go on over to Time Magazine's Instagram account and just let them know what you think. Let's watch it together.
In one Deadpool and Wolverine question, which
yeah.
is when we spoke about the character before, you mentioned that despite the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine broke a ton of box office records last year, that you think he works best as a supporting character. There are many upcoming Marvel movies that we now know involve X-Men. Are there chances that we will see him as a supporting character?
I do think so. I think he works. In order for a character that talks like that to work, you have to take everything away from him. So his skin, his face, he's covered in scars, he's bald, he wears the mask out of shame. So I hijacked the first movie. I used the character to tell a story about shame, then a story about family for the second movie, and this one was being about redemption. And I think we nailed redemption, because redemption is one of the great American exports. I think it's like when you miss something or someone, but you didn't know you missed them, is a very unique feeling for an audience. I mean, they got a few of those in that, but I can't take that was, the whole movie was an allegory for Disney buying Fox. It was, it was like I pitched 18 different movies to them. I mean, I pitched like one that was stop motion, for Christ's sakes. One that was a Sundance movie, like one shot, the whole thing in a car. But where no action, nothing. Where we landed was this, and I was really grateful to get to tell a story, to see people like the characters like Blade, with Wesley Snipes, who's a guy that should have a third act in this moment. Like, this guy's a fucking huge movie star. Sorry.
Sorry.
God, I thought my kids were in the room, so I started to swear.
He didn't just do that. He did not. He's such an idiot. He didn't just reference the fact that his kids were in the room and he can't say a bad word. He didn't just do that. Oh, what a dumbass. Oh, sorry. Thought my kids were in the room. You know, the one that I just made say sucking DICK 700 times on set. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this guy? He's the biggest hypocrite.
And that feeling and that gasp that comes out of people when he crosses the frame in the movie. It's just like, I don't know. It's a feeling that I just want more of. And I think I'd be able to do that as a supporting actor. I'm writing a little something right now that is,
No, please don't.
I don't know, it's an ensemble, but it's, I like that he's isolated. If Deadpool becomes an Avenger or an X-Men, we're at the end. That's
I'm writing something. it's an ensemble. It's called Jessamine Baldoni and Brian Friedman. It's called Wayfarer Productions. It's really cute. It's not based on anything.
his wish fulfillment, and you can't give him that.
Why, again, let me ask you. I love how the comments didn't show up here, but the comments are there.
I'm going to sneak in
Hold
one.
on, let me try to find the comments. I know that you can find the comments if I just put the actual reel here. Hold on. There, here are the comments. So as you can see, a lot of negative comments. I wonder if will his wife have that same redemption arc? Here's an idea for the plot of Deadpool. Create a fake lawsuit and publish it to the New York Times and watch your wife's career go up in smoke. Cringe like his wife. Ew. Okay, it has 288 likes for Time Magazine. And one of them is that Dr. Leslie, which is hysterical, hysterical, hysterical. Now, why again is Ryan Reynolds being interviewed for Time Magazine's 100 when he's not even on the list? Again, this is a PR move. He's not on the list. His wife is on the list. He has not been on the list since 2017, I believe. Why is he there? How did he get there? There are so many other people that can be there. Now, Ryan Reynolds was asked many questions on this panel. Again, why? But he does not mention Blake Lively at all. One question that he was asked in this panel about negative press coverage. Now, the best part about this, and I still want to talk about this fact, that his production company is called Maximum Effort. Just remember this. His production company is called Maximum Effort. His wife's production company that he also runs is called B for Effort. If Lance, my husband, said, hey, I'm going to start a company and it's going to be called Balls to the Wall, Best in the West. And then you should start a company that's going to be called Almost There. I would probably be like, that sucks. Or like, let's start a company where I am amazing. And you should start a company, Donna, where it is, you tried, or like, I tried my best. It sucks. Like, what in the world does he think of this girl? So it says the snub comes amid a difficult year. The snub. What is that? Ryan was asked about not being able to always control what the internet and headlines say about him. The interviewer probed. So how has what media attention impacted your brand and your businesses? And of course, he answers something funny because he's so funny, guys. He's so funny. He said, a rambled response is what they say. Tina Fey says, oh, I love how he brings up Tina. Poor Tina. She's like, damn, I caught a stray. She's like, I didn't ask to be brought in this group chat. She says, if you're feeling good about yourself, he says, if you're feeling good about yourself, just go online. Hardy, har, har, har. Honestly, I give a lot of talks to students about storytelling and about how you can do it in different pockets. You can do it in unexpected ways, he says. My company's North Stars are bringing people together in smart, fun, and unexpected ways. The last one I did, I mentioned the greatest superpower I ever had in my life. He then proceeded to talk about how he tried on many different personalities when he was in his 20s. Yes, he tried on the arson personality. He tried on the bully personality. He tried on the controlling boyfriend and husband personality. He tried on the asshole personality. He tried on all of the different personalities. He says, I'm not saying about just my career or anything. It was just about knowing who I am. When you're young and you're in your 20s, you're trying on personalities like shirts. I mean, you're literally, I'll be this person, I'm that person. Then one day you're stolen from 1,000. So you're a genius, not a beef. What? And you've pulled all these different references and these feelings and you know yourself. He continued, I read an article about myself that was just like, let's have a messy stabbing death here with this guy. And then I read another article that was so lauding. It's just like, this guy should come the prize for blah, 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 blah. What the hell is he talking about? He actually should be studied. He should be studied. And my reaction to both was sort of disconnected, dispassionate, sort of observation on devaluation. And I thought, whoa, that's weird because both are stories that aren't true. Would you guys be scared if you woke up one morning and this guy was just staring at you in bed? Serious question. Hey, Blake, you want to make pancakes? And it really clicked in every part of it. He says, and as someone, I skipped rehab in his 20s and decided to go to conflict resolution workshops in Santa Fe, which I both recommend and I do not recommend unless you love turquoise jewelry. Wait, what the fuck is he talking about? You guys, this is not a joke. It feels like we are on some mushroom trip. What is he talking about? Hold on. I skipped rehab in his 20s and decided to go to conflict resolution workshops in Santa Fe, which I both recommend and I do not recommend unless you love turquoise jewelry. Is he serious? Is that a joke or is that real? Is that just like a fake thing again? We need Elsrich to fact check. Elsrich. But yeah, I went. And that also helped with a lot of things too. So those are two weird tools that I didn't expect to advance things in other areas. What? Someone Google that conflict resolution workshop in Santa Fe immediately. Tiffany, is he making fun of Native Americans? Probably. He probably is. Oh my God. On Tuesday, Blake praised those who uplift others to live boldly after being boldly and yummy after being named one of Time's 100 most influential people of the year. Of course, we know that she was named. It's still not mentioning why she is not at this event, but he is. So it's talking about how she is talking about it. Okay, why is he there? Can someone answer this? Why was Ryan Reynolds at this summit? Let's go to Time Magazine's stories. Do they talk about this? No, of course not. Of course not. How about Ryan Reynolds stories? Let's see. Of course, he's going to probably talk about like pandas or some freaking weird ass turquoise jewelry. Let's see if he covers this in his stories. God, he's triggering. This whole episode should just be called People That Trigger You. Let's see if he talks about it. No, we've just got a reel about Wrexham. Just overlooked it. And then the last thing he posted, of course, is a joke. Oh, this is a week ago for Rob McElhenney. And then, of course, a Mint Mobile ad. Dude, 5 hours ago, a Mint Mobile ad. If I see these Mint Mobile ads anymore, I mean, they are coming in my dreams. Do you guys get these stupid Mint Mobile ads in your dreams? Like now he's putting these ads on his main feed on Instagram. Are we getting desperado? What's happening? Why are these on his main feed? Van City Reynolds is putting Mint Mobile. Can premium wireless truly be this affordable? On his feed. How desperate are we getting? Something is amiss. It's distraction. I will never, ever use Mint Mobile. And the truth is, who is? Who is using Mint Mobile? If you are someone who is using Mint Mobile, please come forward. We can keep you anonymous. I want to know truly how the service is. I would like to know. Blake Lively is still very silent since Taylor Swift has announced that she is going to get, or since the announcement has been that she is going to get deposed. I guarantee you, or subpoenaed and then eventually deposed. I guarantee you she is so freaking out. I mean, to start this can of worms, to see what I'm watching this morning on the live trial of Karen Reed, to know what can happen when your celebrity friends now have to be called to the stand and speak to attorneys. Of course, the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds trial, Justin Baldoni trial will not be live televised, is devastating for us as viewers, but it's unreal. And it's going to be so eye-opening to all of us that are just dying to know what's really going on. The lies that will be exposed, the honest shit that will be exposed, the inner workings of everything. Taylor is probably so furious that she was brought into this. And for what? And for what? For what? Now, if you want to get more detailed about the sham lawsuit and how many times this really happens, once again, I'm going to shout out Cassidy here on YouTube. She does a great video about how many times this has happened before, how many times these sham lawsuits have really gone through, and how many times people have sued does. They have happened. I'm not going to get deep into that right now today, but I can guarantee you right now, it's really, really, it's shady. It's still shady. And whether or not you agree with it or not. Now, one thing I did notice, and I got really, again, drink every time you hear the word triggered. One thing that I got really triggered yesterday by is Threads. Threads is the app that you go to if you want your blood pressure to rise and you want to get that surge of anger, if you want to start punching pillows. Because something about Threads, I don't know if it's the algorithm of Threads, but something about Threads shows you content that makes you angry. I don't know what it is, because I don't get that feeling on Twitter. I don't get that feeling on Instagram. I don't even get that feeling on TikTok. I definitely don't get that feeling, but on YouTube, I don't get that feeling. Threads, it's like they show you content that makes you angry. They show you very, very contradictory content to how you actually feel. I don't get it. It's the opposite of what you want in an algorithm. Like, I get that you shouldn't only get your echo chamber content. But yesterday I did go on Threads and I saw very, very, very pro Blake content. There's an attorney that stands for Blake Lively as well. I'll share her with you. Her name is Legal Miga on Threads. And this is the first thing I saw yesterday. She says this: if you're okay with Friedman's media use, then you should also be okay with Lively's attorney's subpoena use. Okay, thanks, bye. What? I was like, oh, don't engage, Donna. Don't engage, Donna. Don't engage. Walk away from this. And I didn't. I was so proud of myself, you guys. I tapped myself on the back. I said, you're growing. This is growth. Zach and I always send each other text messages like this, you guys. We send each other text messages. We're growing. We're not engaging with the haters. I don't get this at all. I don't understand this argument. And I'm not an attorney. She's an attorney. So I can't really engage from an attorney's perspective. I can only engage from just a layman's perspective. But I don't understand this argument at all. If you're okay with Brian Friedman's media use, by that I mean what? The text messages? Showing the videos? Creating the website? That I don't get. Or is it just the fact that he's talking to the media? What are we talking about specifically? What is the media use? That I don't understand. If you're okay with Brian Friedman's media use, then you should also be okay with Blake Lively's attorney's subpoena use. So you're saying that him using the media is so shady that it's okay that she used the subpoena in a really shady way. I'm sorry, I cannot equate those two things in any way. This is what drives me mad when I see this kind of stuff. It does feel a little bit like I was gaslit. So and look at the comments. Yes. Clap, clap, clap. I'm convinced that the comments are either people that just are like me, that see it and don't want to engage, or she's just blocked everyone that doesn't agree with her. I just don't get it. I cannot understand these kind of attempts at just normalizing shady lawyering and shady court behavior, shady judicial behavior.